Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
And I'll tell you a little bit about my dream. The first one I had, I was in Hope, Maine, at the house, on the property of the house I grew up in. And I started hearing a plane fly overhead. The sound of engines. Multiple. Sort of like what you're hearing right now. Coincidence? See? I remember this was the end of the dream, is where I was shot in the chest by a Chinese soldier, and then right as I was about to die, I woke up.
I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain coming down on a sunny day?
So I just wanted to share with you a dream that I had probably about a year ago. And I have had five dreams, I believe, 4 or 5 dreams total. These have been prophetic dreams that I believe God has given me, as well as other believers, because these dreams were, for one, about future events that are going to take place in this country. And I'll tell you what happened. So in my dream, this is more vivid than any dream I've ever had. It was more real. It was, so I know, I remembered it. I know it was a prophetic dream. It was just, you just know. When you have them, you just know. And what happened was, we were in this country was invaded by Russian and Chinese armies. Everyone was going about their regular business. Everyone was just operating day-to-day business as usual. When all of a sudden, suddenly, there was this feeling of dread and feeling of fear.
There's something wrong.
You have nothing to fear, Your Grace. The trial will begin shortly.
Cersei is not here. Tommen is not here. Why do you think they are not here?
If the accused is not here, she will be tried regardless. We cannot escape the justice of the gods.
Forget about the bloody gods and listen to what I'm telling you. Cersei understands the consequences of her absence, and she is absent anyway, which means she does not intend to suffer those consequences. The trial can wait. We all need to leave. Let's go!
There was a threat coming. I knew that there was an attack coming. And I began to hear the airplanes. I began to hear aircraft coming in towards where my location was. Now, I was in Hope, Maine. I was at the house I grew up in when this happened. But there was people that I knew all on the property. Many people that were just walking around. And I started to yell, saying, "They're coming! Like, look out! Watch out! We got to find shelter quick!" Because I knew they were about to start attacking. And it was a whole bunch of aircraft, just all kinds of Russian, Chinese aircraft just come in. They start dropping parachuters. Thousands and thousands and thousands of parachuting Russian and Chinese paratroopers just getting dropped in as far as I could see. And then these missiles and rockets start coming in and just boom, blowing up, exploding, blowing people to pieces, man, just exploding and just annihilating people. And just these Russian and Chinese troops are landing and they're just killing everybody. They're just whacking everybody, just complete purge of every American that they see. Women, children, men, doesn't matter, old people. They just kill everybody. Wipe them, kill everyone. And they're just mowing people down. People are just dying. People are getting blown up. I mean, these are just massive explosions. Rockets coming in. These cruise missiles just boom! Just massive explosions everywhere. Chaos and fear. And now, as I saw those aircraft coming in, man, the fear and the dread and the panic and the anguish, like the Bible says, they shall be as women in that day, on the day of the Lord. Like, they're going to be as women. Their pain's going to take them as a woman in travail. That's what it felt like. I would imagine what a woman feels like that quick, sudden, like, initial jolt of like, oh, this is happening. Like, but times a million. Just a complete fear, dude. Nowhere to run, nowhere to go. You realize what's happening, and suddenly, like, it becomes very sobering, very fast, very real, very quickly. You understand, dude, that there's no time to do anything. You had your time. You were given your chances. So the interesting thing about as people are getting shot, bombs are going, I'm running, trying to find shelter, and I'm just watching all this, and I'm seeing these troops coming down. And I'm seeing people I know getting killed. Everyone's just like, just in absolute chaos, panic mode, just running around, just running for their lives, trying to hide. But there's just too many troops everywhere. And the crazy thing is while all this was happening in my dream, there was a booming voice coming from the heavens. The voice of God was booming in the atmosphere like thunder. I don't remember what he said. I cannot for the life of me remember the words. Maybe someday God will reveal them to me. But I just know this. I do know this. He was pissed off. He was freaking angry. And it was terrifying. How mad he was. How angry he was, and he was taking out his anger on the population of America, the people. He was pissed, and he was letting you know it as you were getting killed, as you were getting blown up, as you're getting mowed down, as your children were getting dashed to pieces before your eyes, as your wife was getting raped, you know, as your daughter was getting raped before she gets executed. God was yelling and screaming with such an anger in a judgment, a terrifying, man. It was horrifying just how angry he was. And it was like, what do you do? It was coming from everywhere. It's just booming out. Like he was just saying, basically, like, I'm not saying this is exactly what he's saying, but basically, like, this is what you get. This is what you deserve. This is what you had coming. You know, how dare you forsake me? How dare you not obey my word? How dare you, insult and disrespect me the way you have? How dare you take advantage of me? How dare you not believe in me? How dare you not believe in my son? And he was pouring out his anger and wrath on everyone, and it was terrifying. And then I just started, I can't remember at that point. I remember this was the end of the dream, is where I was shot in the chest by a Chinese soldier, and then right as I was about to die, as I was dying and just praying, crying out to God to, take my soul, receive my soul into heaven, I woke up. And that was the first prophetic dream I've had regarding a Russian-Chinese invasion. I have had 3 Russian-Chinese invasion dreams.